Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and here is a brand spanking new article from Crypto Newsflash. SEC vs. Ripple. The next 2 weeks are very critical for the case, and here's why. And so look, I'll tell you at the outset right now. The SEC is hellbent, and that's, by the way, a term that they use within this article, hellbent on using bad evidence against Ripple. And are we surprised, though? The SEC, my gosh, not that every human at the SEC is a bad human, but damn, the ones arguing what they're arguing about Ripple and XRP, my gosh, I don't believe for a moment they believe the vast majority of the things that they're arguing. They just want to win the case, and so you can ask why. Well, the lawyers working there, they got assigned it, I guess, and they want to keep their job, so the rationale right there, I suppose. But the bigger picture for the SEC, it just looks like a power and money grab. That's exactly what it looks like. So I'm going to share with you opinions in this latest Moon Lambo Hot Jam on this topic from John Deaton, who of course is the attorney seeking to intervene in the SEC vs. Ripple case on behalf of roughly 19,000 XRP holders, and also Jeremy Hogan, very famous within the XRP community for running the Legal Briefs YouTube channel. But I want to be clear at the outset, I don't have a legal or financial background of any kind. I'm not offering legal or financial advice, and you should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos all up on the internet about crypto-related things, but it is just a for fun thing. I look forward to it every day, though, so thank you very much all for the support, because without that support, I would be a sad panda. All right, into the piece now. Ever since Jay Clayton, the former chair of the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, filed charges of securities violation against Ripple Labs, the legal battle has become more intriguing by the day. In the latest twist, the SEC is attempting to lay its hands on internal communication by the Ripple team, and the firm is fighting against it. The next 2 weeks will be intense for both sides as the facts discovery deadline draws to a close. By the way, if I could just pause there and state, that is one of the things that I'm most looking forward to. Anything surrounding what's going on with this litigation, the deadline for discovery, because once we reach that point in time, like both sides, they'll know what ammo the other side has, both of them. And so, if ever there's a reasonable point in time to settle, from the SEC's perspective in particular, that would be it. Because, look, of course Ripple would love to settle, but only if there are reasonable terms. And so if I see a settlement, even, and you know what's going to happen, the SEC will claim victory. Oh, look at those little bitches at Ripple. They settled. You know, it'll be framed as a win for them. It won't be a win. If there's a settlement, it's because it's better for Ripple. Because Ripple will not settle if XRP is if XRP are actually going to be declared as a security. So that's one thing. And XRP itself, I don't believe for a second that is actually going to happen here, despite the fact that, as I'll show you a little bit later in the video, yes, the SEC is arguing that. But also, if Ripple can't continue to sell their own XRP holdings, which, mind you, that's their property, if they can't continue to sell that, that's going to be a no-go. You won't see a settlement in which they're not allowed to do that. I strongly suppose that to be the case. And then they have this little subheadline, first in the battle for the Slack messages. We know the SEC has been trying to get its hands on internal communication by the Ripple team. As we reported on August 10th, the regulator filed an emergency order at the Southern District of New York seeking Slack messages by Ripple team's members. It claimed these messages contained critical and unique evidence against Ripple and XRP. Ripple filed its reply to the Slack motion yesterday, August 16th, opposing the move. And you can see here on the screen, and credit where it's due, James File, an attorney within the XRP community, so not part of Ripple, not part of the SEC, is just a machine, sharing all of the latest legal filings on Twitter for all of us to see. And I could not tell you how much I appreciate it, because it helps me stay in tune with what's going on right here. And really, all of the attorneys in the XRP community, even though they don't agree 100%, that doesn't matter. Like, in terms of what's happening specifics, I enjoy the thoughtful discourse, and they're all nothing but courteous and respectful to one another. And it's just fascinating to gain their insight, because certainly myself and the vast majority of you listening, we don't have legal backgrounds, and so we can't really glean the same things from data that's out in the public that they can. We're just not capable of it. We would need to be well, frankly, it would need to be a career, right? It just would be. We'd have to be lawyers in order to understand that. And so anyway, Just want to give a shout out to James Filan because he is absolutely fantastic. And he deserves all the credit that he's been getting from the XRP community. We all appreciate it. But anyway, in its motion, Ripple claimed that first, the messages are not judicial documents and are, quote, not entitled to a presumption of public access, end quote. In addition, these messages could contain highly confidential material, quote, which reflect competitively sensitive and confidential information concerning Ripple's business strategy, relationships with business partners, and internal business operations, end quote. And so look, the SEC has no business with any of this crap, but they're really reaching, as you'll see. Let me get a little bit further. You'll see what I'm talking about here. Recognizing that the court may not entirely side with its motion to keep the information confidential, Ripple concludes by stating the following. Should this court determine there is no basis for sealing any of these documents in their entirety, Ripple respectfully asks for an opportunity to propose specific redactions be made to the documents. So, that certainly, at a minimum on the surface, sounds very reasonable, but the SEC, this is what I keep seeing from over and over and over again. And I don't know exactly how this particular aspect of it's all is going to pan out, but they just keep overreaching. Like they're, by the way, it's come back and hurt them very clearly because they just keep getting ruling after ruling after ruling against them because they're making every argument that enters their brain without even fully processing whether or not it's reasonable to do so. And they seem to have no shame. They just go after it. And you got to wonder at this point, what do the judges think about this? Netburn and Torres, like, what do they think about these SEC attorneys making all these bogus claims? Because like, there's, I think it's reasonable to suppose they're probably not happy. Look at the outcomes to this point. It's not, by and large, not in favor of the SEC. And then there's the subheading. Then there is the battle for internal SEC memos. Yeah, this is a fun part. In the relentless fight to gain an upper hand through access to internal documents, Ripple has also been going after the SEC. Since as far back as March this year, Ripple has insisted that the regulator was improperly withholding relevant information, potentially exculpatory evidence. The SEC has been fighting back, as well as it seeks to keep its internal documents to itself. And later today, the regulator is expected to file its response to Ripple's motion as the deadline hits. What's most curious about the two parties is how late they have left all these important filings. Attorney Jeremy Hogan observes in his latest video. This is because August 31st, which is less than 2 weeks away, is the deadline for all facts discovery. And here's a quote. I expect this to move very quickly this next week. Hang on to your hats because we only have a couple of days left. That's a quote from Jeremy Hogan. And then the article states, who's beloved in the XRP community. And he told his 115,000 subscribers on YouTube just that. Indeed, he is very beloved. We all appreciate what Deaton does, and Hogan and Filan and any other attorney out there. Hogan further observed that the SEC has been conducting depositions without the documents it's deposing these witnesses about. And here's a quote. And that is always a mistake, especially in federal court, where you're not likely to get a second shot at the deposition. And so, look, the SEC's motion lives and dies with the charge that XRP is a security and Ripple violated securities laws, or so we thought. But looking at the recent motions, it would seem the SEC is gradually shifting its focus charges. Now, and check this out. Actually, let me jump over to this before I even go further, because this is a perfect point to bring this up. This is a tweet from John Deaton from just probably, I don't know, within the last hour or so, whatever it's been. But he wrote the following. The biggest misconception of the SEC versus Ripple case is that people, including lawyers who have not actually read the pleadings, claim that the SEC is only alleging XRP as a security because of the way Ripple sold it. Not true. The SEC claims XRP itself is a security. And he shared this. This is a screen grab. Take a look at this. I'll read the part that he highlighted right here. And this, by the way, what I'm about to read, this is from the official legal filing. The SEC claiming that Ripple has sold XRP as a security. This is the actual legal complaint, and here is what they state in it. The XRP traded, even in the secondary market, is the embodiment of those facts, circumstances, promises, and expectations, and today represents that investment contract. Folks, it doesn't get more clear than that. They are saying XRP is a security, but if you ask them, they'll say they're not claiming that. They'll say they're not claiming it, but here, read it on your screen if you want to. I just read it to you. They are arguing that it's a security. They're lying liars. Lying liars, damn it. It's just... Life's weird, guys. Life is weird. I don't think the judges are so stupid that they won't see through this. I respect the judges. I think they're nothing but professional. And there's no way that they're falling, right? I think that's a reasonable suspicion, right? Anyway, so this piece continues, though. Attorney Hogan believes that the SEC is changing its tune as it can now see it would lose if it continues to attack from the technical side of things. And here's a quote. The argument here is that Ripple marketed XRP like a security, treated it like a share of stock, tried to manipulate the price. And that was a quote that from Jeremy Hogan. And so this is most evident in one of its motions, even though it's tucked away in the footnotes. On this, the SEC outlines whose Slack messages at Ripple it wants to lay its hands on the most. It includes 3 members of Ripple's marketing team, a telltale sign of the SEC's new attack angle, according to the legal expert. And there's a little snippet right there, and I'm not going to read through it. It's on your screen if you care to look. Feel free. But take a look at this quote from Jeremy Hogan now. Now, what does the marketing team have to do with whether XRP is a security or not? Absolutely nothing. But it has everything to do with how Ripple marketed and created XRP. Yeah, and of course, when we all know, of course, Ripple did not create XRP. XRP was created before Ripple, the company, existed, and so the idea makes it even that much more ridiculous. The idea of somehow Ripple selling the XRP that they hold some sort of investment contract. There is no contract, damn it. Quit being a bunch of little baby back biatches. That's a please request from Moon Nambo. But anyway, piece continues. Even more telling is that of the 38 information requests by the SEC, and they write in parentheses here, although a good number of these are generic throwaway requests, at least 12 or 13 of them are directly related to marketing efforts by Ripple. So think about that. That is interesting. So if this is the approach they're taking, it seems rather weak, does it not? And they just want to use evidence that don't make no damn sense, that they don't even deserve. But this is the approach they have. It's like they're grasping at straws. I'd be very surprised if when this is all said and done, it doesn't bode well for Ripple and XRP both. I'd be very surprised. We don't know for sure. You can always get bad law, but I am very optimistic to this point, and I think most of us probably are at this point, and I'd say for good reason. But let me know what you think. I'll stop here, though. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!